Sagittarius, welcome back for your December reading. If you're wanting to make an emergency booking during the Christmas and New Year season and there's none available that suit your time frame and you're needing one, go to the link directly below, go straight through to the website and you can email me and I'll try and tee it up with you. Now, next year I'll be doing the readings a little bit differently, and that's because I have noticed that there are some splits of energies in all the zodiac signs. So I'm going to try and work with you guys connected to those of you in each zodiac sign where aspects of blocks are coming through to prevent you from moving forward. Now, most of us have had a very heavy year, more so in 2016. 2017 was forward movement, but it felt like a massive tower event. And that's because brick by brick in aspects of our life, we've done the work, and we've been changing aspects of how we are working. For many of us, we have moved into different employment or moved into a way of dealing with employment with a different attitude, and looking at it from a different perspective. So everything we're physically doing, we have changed the way in which we're vibrationally dealing with things. So when it comes to our work, we've either changed employment or started being more authentically ourselves and more honest about what the requirements are directly connected to employment. Our friendships directly have changed as well. We're honouring ourselves and we're looking at the friendships that vibrationally are connecting with us and aren't. And those that aren't, if we have adhered to the calling, we are removing those situations and changing our attitudes directly connected to communication, who directly relates to us. The relationships one-on-one with intimate relationships has changed as well, but that's only been because we've intimately changed the relationship with ourselves and we're being more honest with ourselves about what our needs are. Now, with all the things I'm mentioning and all the changes we've had, being a number one year, it's been about setting the foundation. So it's like we've had a massive tower event and we've pulled it gradually down. It hasn't happened all in one hit. It's very much happened in a gradual stage to the point the correct brick has been placed back, but more in a way that it is cemented in a very firm way. It's not standing now on a poor foundation. It is based upon a reality of what we physically feel is correct for us, for who we are today. Now, when I'm saying 50-50, it's because some of us may have found this to be incredibly challenging. Now, aspects of it has got very energetic in the last 2 months, and that's because we're ending a cycle and moving into a number 2 cycle. Now, when this happens each year. Obviously, if we haven't done the work, what's going to happen is we're going to need to look at it from a different perspective. If we're not doing the work, it's going to be heavy energy, and November and December would have been very heavy energy. So a lot of home-related issues may have been stemming back from October, November, and through to December. Communication-related issues are very prominent in October, November, December. Now, if these aspects we haven't actually worked with, what you can do is look at it where you've got blocks. You may need to listen to the videos previously, and that's to get the in tune messages that are going to be directly relevant for you. So if you're hearing or feeling or sensing that you're needing to do certain things and you haven't done them due to blocks you have, and it may be given scenarios you're choosing to not address those issues because of something that you're vibrationally feeling, the clarity isn't there. Or it could be you're emotionally not ready to deal with an aspect of a situation that you're currently feeling or dealing with. What's going to happen is each month that's added to your plate. So if you don't physically remove those aspects and use that energy correctly and learn that aspect, then it's going to build up. And that carpet where it becomes swept under, it will start to topple up, where you will be doing a lot more work unnecessarily. So yes, 2017 has been a very energetic year, but there has been forward motion for those of us who have done the work. So like I said, in each zodiac sign, there will be now an aspect of a 50-50 situation going on, where some of us would have done it and we're taking it in strides and realizing and accepting the aspect of change. Others of us, due to blocks, which I will use chakra cards, you know, in your reading today, in different areas. So it'll be in your personal reading, in the general aspect of it, and for couples and singles, to help you guys actually start working with those aspects to free yourself so you can have the most positive 2018. It might be a bit lengthy, but that's because I'm going to give you a whole overview of what you've accomplished for this year, including what you're needing to accomplish and how to actually move forward freely into January. I am feeling for you guys, you have done a lot of spiritual growth. Now, lots of you have changed, but I do feel that there is a minority that is very stuck right now. Stuck in a sense that you already had made an assessment connected to something, but you are not directly respecting your intuition connected to the appraisal you have made in your mind connected to these subjects that are really triggering you at the moment. So in relation to that, you need to completely realize that your intuition has always been correct. Now, sweeping that scenario under the carpet is directly impacting your health. You're also needing to be aware that come Christmas, and it's not because it's Christmas that this is happening, but I do feel for many of us an aha moment is happening around Christmas. So be careful about your time management connected to Christmas. Do find a niche in that day where you can physically find a place to go to process, because information is going to be coming through to you and it is very energetic in December. Aspects also connected to New Year's are coming through, where final decisions are going to be made at the last hour, I'm hearing. I do feel that you're going to need to have a bubble moment where you can actually go and just have some clarity. And it might be to ground yourself connected to something that has transpired. I do feel a sadness connected to some subject that is coming up, and a regret connected to what you wanted to do but you didn't do. You're going to need some healing connected to this, and it does feel like very heavy energy. It does feel like there is communication with a person who might not be well, or has an ailment, so to speak, or the relationship between you and this person is not well. Now, I'm feeling you're going to have to bridge the gap, and you're going to have to realize that what you had wanted in your life and how you wanted it to look, you can't take that time back. You can't make it what it wasn't, but you can take it for what it is today. Try to not use this energy in this month to, how would you put it? Try not to feel guilty. Try to acknowledge it and appreciate the moment of what you have, because try to only focus on the good memories, the good connections, not what could have been, but what is today and what has helped you grow as a human being. I do feel that you do feel very alone right now, even though you have a lot of people around you that love you. In some aspects, you very much do suppress your emotions of how you're physically feeling about situations. Sometimes, unfortunately, you are retaliating, but in ways that you don't intend to do. So it may be that for a while you're feeling very fluid and open in a sense of communication and very naturally grounded in your own body. And then other times vibrationally you're sensing things and triggers are coming about where it's making you feel very agitated. In that sense of being agitated, you need to realize and accept why you're feeling that way, because that is an aspect of a block that's coming up that you need to actually acknowledge and emotionally deal with, because it's blocking your healing process. I do feel around you you're aware of the blessings you have, but it's hindering your ability to actually completely appreciate those times because of blocks and hurts. This appreciation you have connected to an area of your life is helping you process that, but it's like you've been in hermit mode, in an aspect, in denial, connected to aspects you need to directly deal with. Now, going into hermit mode at times is necessary, but it feels like your communication, your home, your sense of grounding, your base chakra, your heart chakra has been injured in some shape or form. A moment will come where you can actually verbalize this, but you need to use your throat chakra in a way of communicating in a healthy way. Now, you can talk of your pain and your hurt and things you've experienced, and I do feel you to have happy moments in the month of December. Now, you've had much success this year, but this is one area of your life that is coming through very prominently. And the nostalgia connected to the process of how hard you've worked, how you have done a 360, you're not acknowledging how far you've come. So I do feel these time frames are going to generate, for some of you, agitation, remorse, hurt. I don't feel bitterness. I feel the bitterness has died. I feel that aspect of it is a sense of ego that has died. And when we fall into an aspect of ego, what happens is it's basically a block. So it's a way of protecting yourself, because the aspect you're currently dealing with is so energetic that it can't physically at that point in time be faced. I do feel some of you may become very emotional and weep. I do feel 3 key people around you who are aware of this but haven't communicated it with you, although remotely they're sending you love and light. They're trying to reach out to you, but they know how you are, and they realise that if they touch you or communicate with you or open that wound that has been weeping, it may trigger a chain of events. So they're patiently waiting for you to extend your hand. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to tune into your general area of your reading. But I do feel around Christmas there's going to be some clarity. There is support around you. There is love. And I do feel you're no longer wanting to feel isolated. There are people around you who you've isolated yourself from, where, and it's making you angry. The aspects of that, you're actually knowing now you're needing to step forward, because these people you've removed yourself from are the ones that have the aspect to assist you in healing. I feel in some shape or form the relationship between you and these people has been distant, but it's more a 3D aspect connected to what you feel the greeting is going to be. I do feel in some shape or form a mask has been placed in a sense of you needing to protect yourself and save face. You're being too hard on yourself. In direct connection to you and who these 3 key people are, I'm hearing they don't hate you. That's what I'm feeling. It's like they know that we're all human, and they're wanting you to extend your hand when you're ready, and all will be forgiven. And it's not even, and this is your opinion, this isn't their opinion. They actually don't even know why you would physically feel that way. You have a large history with these people. I'm just going to turn my Skype off, just in case I decide to, behind the screen, get a phone call. Okay, family. You're all over the place when it comes to family. Now, family does not have to be your DNA family. It can be your soul family, of your friendships and loved ones that you're meditating on, and the way you're looking back over your life. And I do feel you're really doing a gathering of thoughts connected to your life. Number one's the foundation, yeah, but it also is the ending of a way of living. So it can be very, it's more heavy than any other year, I'm feeling. So December is a very emotional time. And your reading is making me feel very emotional. I've got a lot of compassion for what you're going through right now. You may not feel this instantly, but the closer that time frames come when you are physically meeting with family members. Now, not all of us will meet on Christmas Day. It may be Christmas Eve, it may be before or after. Now, it's at these gatherings I'm feeling it's emotionally charged, but not in an aggressive way, in a resolve way, where by that time, leading to that point of meeting or communicating, if you can't physically meet these people, you know, in the 3D, in person, because of distance, I feel in some shape or form there's going to be a connection. Now, this connection might be through your thoughts connected to them. It can be through an email or Skype or telephone. May even be a message, but many of you, I do feel it's a direct connection with people who you feel are either your soul family or a DNA family. Not ready yet. In your general life, you have really done a 360. You had made some mistakes the year prior, and this might even be, you know, where you're actually looking over them, and it's your opinion. This isn't what the universe is saying to you. It's your assessment of a given situation where you feel situations arose and they've blocked forward motion, but they've really created a massive education for you. So you need to change your perspective connected to what has transpired. You may perceive something as you've had a hard road, a hard life, and yes, that is correct. But gradually, I feel, when you look upon it later, you're going to realise it's shaped you into the woman or the man you are today. And they were blessings, although at the time they physically didn't feel so. I do feel a loved one who's passed over. This, I feel more as a friend. More so a friend, I'm feeling. Someone of a soul nature. This can be for some of you, and it's definitely feeling a friend, so I'm leaving it at that. That's what my intuition's telling me, psychically speaking. Now, this loved one, whoever it is, for most of you, I'm feeling it's a male figure. But it may be vice versa, but there is a prominent male figure coming through. They're very much around you, and they want you to not look over old ground in a negative way. They have peace and they're always with you. They also don't want you to think that maybe things should have been said a different way. It was what it was, and that was the 3D world. The spiritual world knows of forgiveness, and they know who you are today, and an aspect of them being in your life has brought about triggers to help you in part of your life education. So they had that connected to you and you had that connected to them, and they don't want you to look at it from where it was back then, because it's not like that now. It's not, there is no blame, there is no resent, there is great peace, and they want you to know that they always love you. Okay, on a monetary front now, let's just breathe, because that was quite heavy. Okay, your money. Now, anything you want, you can achieve. 2018 is looking very positive. Now, if you have done a 360 and you are currently working extremely hard and have been, which is for many of you what I'm feeling. Now, this could have been an education. This could have been your mindset connected to what you're wanting to do in 2018. The possibilities are limitless. And for your world, what is to come is what you're manifesting, but you need to have complete faith in that situation. Stop blocking yourself saying you can't have more than what you have. That's what's crowning you. Okay. In some shape or form, a block connected to money needs to be moved away from. This can be a warning. It can be an aspect of your attitude towards money. It can be an aspect connected to your belief systems connected to money, of what they equate. Now, it may be that you're looking at a job and you're feeling, I can't do that due to A, B, C, D. That's a mindset. Now, on the 3D, it may be a reality, but if you manifest it, blocks will be removed. So sometimes we believe that what we naturally see means a possibility can't eventuate. I did give a reading to my mother probably about 2 years ago, and in her reading, in her given situation, she didn't have the ability to travel. And when I read her, I said to her, I physically see a trip. I see movement, and I see you overseas. And she said the reasons on the 3D, she physically couldn't have that. And they were natural 3D things that, when I say 3D, what we physically see as blocks in our real world. No passport, no money, poor timing. I said, stop, don't question. It's what's destined. You need to have faith in that process. And within 2 weeks, she called me and she said her passport was paid for, her ticket was there. It's your mindset. You're blocking it because of your opinion connected to the 3D. If you do a 360 connected to that, an aspect of your finance is being directly impacted by your mindset. So this can be your relationship towards money, and physically, emotionally, what you think it actually means. Is money directly connected to you? When you say money, the first word that it equals to you is your definition of that. And everybody for every given word will have a different definition. You may feel it's directly connected to your worth. It may equate to success. It depends on what it directly connects to. Get to the root of that and work out what's going on in a sense of a block, and it will be moved. Okay. It's directly connected to an emotional situation that you need to kind of heal from. Okay. In some aspects, some choices aren't being made, and that might be at a financial level, and it might be maybe you're actually blocked because of previous choices you made and you're punishing yourself. You need to release that. We're in a number 1 year. It's all about letting go and having a better start for the new year. In your family, there is a female figure who is going to heal aspects of family. There is a prominent female. This might be your partner, your mother, your sister, a person who you call a soul sister. It might be a grandmother. This could be passed over or directly here in the 3D. Now, they are very much going to be crowning your energy, and they're going to help an aspect of this heal. Okay, where there was ice, there is now warmth. So you're seeing it one way, but it's going to be different to what you're expecting. Have faith in that process. Okay, where there was aggression, there is no more aggression. So it does feel like a change of energy. So the worst of what you're expecting, please release that fear, because directly, again, it's connected to a block and an opinion of a previous scenario, not what has to be. If you go into, say, a Christmas party or a New Year's party, and, you know, in the previous year there were fights and squabbles, go in with a peaceful energy. And it's really grounding you where it's making you safe. And know you have all the tools to handle this energy directly. In your general life, you're not trusting yourself. And that's because I do feel your energy is very tired. So as I said, try and find the pocket around those social events where you're going to be able to ground yourself. And I do feel nobody around. You're going to need a moment for you. All of us really were doing soul work at a very singular level. Even though many of us have had relationships, and this doesn't have to be with a partner, it is directly with other people. Really, a number 1 year is about dealing with the relationship with self. So when we're doing the work on self, everything flows. Adhere to vibrationally what you're feeling for yourself. You can't have the perspective without kind of resting. So when you're feeling the need to retreat, do so without apologizing for that scenario. It's a necessity. Okay, you're feeling in your general life some aspects you're not going to be able to overcome. Again, I feel it's due to fatigue. Don't take December personally. It's like when you look over your life, some aspects you may not take as a blessing. Some aspects you will physically look at, you know, now and say, gosh, they really assisted me in growing. Look at this 1 month as that given scenario. You can't completely have the clarity, but go through the energy of it, and at the end you will have a lot of inner peace. Okay, and again, decisions connected to scenarios are not completely going to be made, because you need to heal. Once that's done, it's like cutting an old umbilical cord. That was a negative one. The future will be free. Now, really, I had done a lot of research on YouTube, and a lot of what we do in life is very much connected to our mindset. Now, I am not the type of reader that will sugarcoat things, but I also am not a negative person. So I do believe a lot of us do have control, and we need to realize that each month when a reading comes through, the energy is an energy for a month. Now, past tense months and blocks can trigger us. So if we can physically look at those scenarios and then have kind of the way or the perspective of looking at it, that can assist us to actually deal with what's coming up in a sense of a hurdle. So we are the tools. The information is the assistance of perspective, and how we deal with that is completely energetically our decision, and of our nature, where think of life as an education. We are students. Not one of us is perfect. Okay. Singles, what's going on for you guys? Okay. Some of you aren't wanting to talk in relation to a matter. You are healing, but you're waiting upon clarity. You're also missing old friends and wanting to have those connections, but your environment is preventing you right away from doing that. Don't be surprised if aspects of you may be a tad rebellious, or avoiding certain scenarios to actually have that time out. I do hear some of you might be getting phone calls from a past tense person or a person who you've been currently dealing with. Now, it's actually irritating you. I don't know why. Because you're wanting your bubble. You're needing time out, and it's not a personal thing. It's They're picking the incorrect time to mess with you, I'm feeling. You definitely, it's almost like you're having an awakening. And this awakening is just realigning yourself to, you know, what you're wanting to do in your life. What your assessments are. Be very careful with your cash, though, for singles. Because I do see ups and downs, but it's more connected to, how do you put it? Maybe having that aspect of rebellion, because as I said, there's a 50-50 energy. Those of you who have done the work will deal with your energy in one way. Those of you who are avoiding it might be a little bit rebellious and, you know, splurge and maybe have a few too many drinks. It depends on how your energy is going and how you're actually working with your triggers. So have a sense of awareness connected to that. You know, try to be cautious connected to that. Okay, in some shape or form, you're processing an aspect of work you had done or something that had transpired, because this is the energy that's currently crowning you, where you shouldn't have even bothered. You shouldn't have done what you did, or you're getting angry about where you've placed money or where you've placed a commitment or energy. And it's a processing month. It's a month where you're looking at it and going, wow, you know, why did I do that? But ultimately speaking, there is an option of a happy scenario for you. So this might be a love invitation, you meditating on a previous scenario and a new scenario at the same given time. Also, it might be that you're assessing it because somebody is wanting far too much from you. Now, again, I'm feeling there's two energies going on. I feel there's a past tense energy that's impacting you, where relationships were really requiring you to financially, emotionally over-invest and not get an outcome out of it. And that is actually something you're working on at the moment and processing. Try and get the rest so you can have the clarity. And if you're retreating, it's like you're being pulled in two directions. So you're going to need to actually remove yourself and do your little rebellious things so you can have a bit of space. But you're going to find after that you will be lulled and a bit more vulnerable, but you will get the clarity connected to it in that quiet moment, I'm feeling. Okay, this is going to help you get the clarity. And in some sense, it's going to help you make a judgment connected to vibrationally what you're physically going to want. Okay, it is going to help you heal from getting this perspective connected to the past and the present of what you're wanting in your world. But you're being very careful that somebody isn't going to take you for a ride. And your blocks are feeling like you think somebody who you might let go might kind of hinder that aspect. Okay, overall you're going to be very balanced, and you're going to see through the lies, and there might be some gossip connected to this, and you're aware of this. You're really watching the energy of what's coming through. Now, the external energy to you is this person who you're thinking about is a very caring person, and they can see you know, you're seeing two sides to this person, so you're a little bit unsure. In some ways they're grounded, in some ways they can be very cold and abrupt, so you're not really knowing how to take it. And I feel they've gone through a similar energy to you, where they might have been in a situation and they're still healing, because like I said, we're in a number 1 year. Check their zodiac sign, or you might need to get a private reading, and I can actually do some work to tune into that person completely. But, you know, in some ways they're wanting freedom. So it might be physical freedom from an aspect that is blocking them in a love sense, or freedom in a sense of being a little bit aloof and not wanting a direct commitment at the moment. So it's going to depend on how they're vibrationally acting. But I do feel more clarity will come in January. At the moment, really, there's two trigger points, so it's like a left-right. This can be just past-related aspects for you, or it can be directly connected to two people in your kind of circle at a romantic level. Again, link directly below. You can get vouchers on the website as well if you are wanting to, you know, maybe just have that money there so that you're not you can do a reading when you want. There is a shop connected to the website. Okay, couples. I'll use that as the crowning energy. And I'm hoping to goodness my battery's not going to die. So if I am rushing it through, it's because I don't want to stop it, because it got to start again. I have got my camera though. And then realised I needed a memory card, so I just can't win this month. I'm working with the energy. Okay, what's crowning you? Again, Fair's connected to money. The wisdom to accept help from others, uncertain self-employment. Now, while you're healing, sometimes what happens is you're unable to give the energy completely to work. Or maybe vibrationally you're feeling I'm giving and I'm not receiving. And that can be just in an aspect not completely connected to financially. So in a way, what's crowning your energy in the couple scenario is you're really reassessing whether the investment in the scenario is what you're physically going to get out of it. Now, it might be that you and your partner are currently negotiating, assessing situations, or working on where you're going to invest your cash as a joint team. Now, a lot of you have done great work within this relationship. You know, you've really had to have that whole 360 and you've been pushing through hurdles and emotions and, you know, you're two separate energies. So to place that energy together has been challenging. But on the home front, look, you've got the world, and this is the energy between the both of you. You do have a very blessed, happy life at the moment, and it is very much in hermit mode. But you are also having aspects where you're wanting to go out, but you do know both of you are changing because the healing has happened. Now you're realizing there's a secondary aspect that needs to be healed, and that's aspects of family. But you're not wanting to hurt each other because you've both been each other's bubble. Okay, now people are coming into your world. Now this could be a child for some of you. It could be a new child, or it could be letting the families merge to become one. Both of you are stuck due to you thinking the same thing. Both of you are feeling, you know, a situation that's coming forward is going to trigger events in the relationship, or if you have to do some work totally connected to just you, and this is on both sides, that somehow this relationship's going to be impacted. Please remember the work you've done this year. This is all a facade. It's not real. It's a fear-based situation. Use the communication to do that, and you'll find both of you are in the same boat. Both of you are wanting a little bit of quiet time, like obviously together, and you both within your families, but then very separately where you can do the work quite privately. Your energy is you're going to look at this from a very objective way. You're very nervous. Your stomach is feeling very nervous because you adore the person you're with, but you need to open up about some aspects. And it is a very complex decision because you don't know how to address the situation. Your partner may be giving you the perspective, but you really are holding this in because it's a very heavy situation that you are actually meditating upon. Your partner's not releasing something, but then they do. So initially they don't want to, and it might be a grudge, but they do. And it's your feelings that they're not going to. Okay, they are moving forward and there is healing, and suddenly it's like, it's an aha moment. Now, I did say I was going to pull chakra cards. So I'm going to pull some chakra cards for the energy between you, and I didn't for single, so I'll have to go back and do that. If I don't have time, I apologise. You didn't need it. Things happen for a reason. We have to trust the process. Family. How ironic. We've been talking about this through the full reading. Your base chakra. Can be that you fall pregnant. Can be that, and for some of you, I do feel so. Some of you are thinking, I really don't want this right now. Please trust the process. Meditate on it. Please meditate on it. Things happen for a reason. But anything to do with this being a number 1 year, the healing process within you, singularly, has happened. Now it's time to finalise that piece of the puzzle and deal with the family-related aspects externally to the partnership so you can move forward. If it means you accept what it is and that it's always going to be that way, that's still an aspect of healing that family dynamic. It is not your job to completely do all the work, but definitely to physically take it for what it is or deal with the challenge at hand. And preferably before those events transpire where you have that communication open. And maybe it's you that physically needs to do that before you even get to that stage where you're all kind of in an area. That's what I'm hearing. Now, I'll pull 3 cards from the Romance Angels. Oops, maybe not. I do feel you guys are really busy all the time as well. Okay. At the moment, an aspect of what you're focusing on is that life could be happier. So it's not feeling like some fancy honeymoon. And it might be that you've cemented your foundation in your relationship so you know you can deal with other aspects, and that's what I'm feeling. Communication with family, there is no engagement in a sense of communication, but that's changing too, where there will be communication once you deal with the aspects of your base chakra, your family. Now, at one stage, that's interesting. An aspect of what happened or what you are aware of with the person you're with, and there might have been a block or a challenge, and there might have been a temporary separation for some of you, or a falling out emotionally. You thought they were thinking that they were not your soulmate. It's being shown that the commitment is to you. Now, if, again, it can be 50-50. But I'm feeling as though they're healing from an aspect of a situation from a previous scenario, and now that the slate is clean. So I hope that makes sense. Ooh, you get very angry about that. Okay, they know now that they deserve love, and that's what they receive with you, and they are learning to forgive the process, but they're wanting you to forgive them as well. Now, I will clear these up, and I'm going to, hopefully, if this camera doesn't shut off. If it does, you weren't supposed to get the messages. I'm going to quickly say that before it shuts down because it's at 42 minutes. I will pull a chakra card for singles. Singles. What messages do we have? Okay, an aspect of what you're going to see, so it can be your third eye. You can get a purple amethyst stone to ground you, heal you, cleanse you. You're going to get the perspective. So trust in this process and keep moving forward, and you will see. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a very safe and happy New Year. Thank you for all the subscribers, the comments. I love you guys to bits, and my clientele. I love you to bits. I hope to see you in the new year, and if you want a booking, I can't wait to speak to you guys. Take care. Bye.